Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic. Do you think that women should be free to walk around topless in public places, just as men can? Why not? It's been legal in Ontario, Canada since 1996. I have witnessed exactly 0 women taking advantage of this new freedom. I saw one topless woman just after the law changed. It was at a big outdoor concert full of drunk people. A police officer quietly pulled her aside and, I presume, had a talk about whether this was going to end well. She put on a shirt. A number of nursing mothers have benefited from the change in the law, I think. They have legal protection from being kicked out of various places if they very briefly flash some nipple while nursing. I honestly don't understand the uproar that happens in regards to breastfeeding. Oh no, she flashed some nipple. So fucking what? Don't stare, and just go about your day. It's legal where I live, lol. I mean, no one does it, but it's still legal. Edit, my inbox, holy shit. So throw off the chains of oppression, said he. Be fairly unfettered. And free to be free. Be gone and go on and go forth as you please. Unbound and unbridled by social decrees. Release who you are from the burden of doubt. And don't be afraid to be you when you're out. The future is yours and it's ready ahead. He waited. I don't really want to, she said. But why such restraint? He asked in surprise. As a line formed behind him with lustrous eyes. We want you to feel safe and free in our cities. Came a cry from behind him. Show us your titties. I don't think it's illegal in any European country, and it is quite common, in some countries, for women to be shirtless, for example on a beach or by a pool. Yeah, it freaked my wife out a little when we went to a beach in Spain and half of the women there were topless. I was just like, it's Europe, they do that here. I don't care what others do as long as I don't have to participate. Same, I wouldn't, because I think wearing a bra is more comfortable when walking around. But if people want to whip them out, why the F not? It doesn't cause people to enter a mindless animal state of lust, in which they lose all control, and if it did, that'd just reflect bad on them, not on the boob bearer. It's fat folds with nipples. If you interpret more into them than you would into obese men's boobs, that's on you. Edit, wording. You can't control what other people find sexual or attractive, and you could apply that kind of reasoning to anything. There's nothing attractive about a pretty face, it's just a chunk of bone with muscle fibers and an epidermis layer slapped on. Pretty gross when you think about it. Yeah, it's weird what human beings find attractive. Like a six-pack is just bumps on your stomach, etc. I have the chest of a 9-year-old boy, so yeah, let's go. Edit, if anyone is gonna be sliding into my decimeters S, can it please be successful men in the Los Angeles area looking for a serious relationship? Thank you. Okay, you guys are great, thanks for the medals. What'd you do with his head? In Sweden you can get a ticket for going topless as a man actually. What if you're swimming? Do they wear those 30s men's swimsuits? Whether it is illegal or not is decided by the reason the person chooses to be topless. In Sweden it is not illegal per selenium to even be butt naked in public places, but if someone reports it and court finds the action to be made to disturb or harass someone, you will be charged with indecent exposure. This is not common knowledge here, and you will probably be stopped on sight even by an educated cop if you're butt naked. All men go topless on the beach and I would suspect no one has ever been charged for it actually. I guess it's the same as in Germany. It's usually not generally illegal to be naked, but if you're in a place where you can be sure to piss off people with your attire, then you're violating the peace. So if you try to attend an opera, even 30s swimsuits would be offensive enough to get you into trouble. On the beach you don't have to wear clothes at all. I think that when appropriate a woman should be allowed, yay. Like I don't really enjoy seeing shirtless men in the high street, but on beaches and a hot day in the park then sure, I see no problem with that. I was having this discussion with a friend, and she said there are a lot of unattractive women with really saggy breasts. But my counterpoint is there are also a lot of fat men at beaches, and they don't look any less disgusting. Being subjectively ugly shouldn't be the basis for a legal prohibition. Your friend is stuck on the idea that women's breasts are for other people to look at and enjoy sexually, and that if those breasts aren't perfect, women don't deserve the privilege of showing them off. Same here, if it's not appropriate, you do you. I would prefer that both men and women remain clothed in public. That being said, if it's legal for a man, it should also be legal for a woman. I agree. I'd say on a beach it should be acceptable. Yes. There are exceptions. I am also fine with women breastfeeding pretty much anywhere, but do appreciate some discretion. Yes. Though I wouldn't recommend it in my country, as even in summer it's still a bit chilly. Edit, thank you for all the upvotes. Oh I love you all. 3. If it weren't for nipples, boobies would be pointless. Edit, woohoo. Gold and silver medals or medals, depending on your point of view. Thank you kind strangers for the recognition of a pointless line I have used many times but only just entered on Reddit. I appreciate you. I'm a 70-year-old man with boobs and I don't think I should be allowed to be topless in public. Got to be proud of those tie-ties. I think it's impolite, improper may be better, for guys to walk around topless unless the weather and work calls for it. In those circumstances I have no issue with women doing the same. Agreed. Or maybe a rule against going topless if you're going to sit in a chair / on the bus or something. It's fine if you're walking around outside, but please don't get seats sweaty. It's kind of like going to the gym and cleaning up after. I think everyone would agree that shirts should be required on a bus. On like a beach or water park, yeah, go topless. Just like how being shirtless in other public places is indecent for men, it would be for women. Edit, gold. Really? On this? I'm not complaining, just wow, that was so easy. Exactly. The no shirt, no shoes, no service rule should still be in place for places where there's food being handled .. That's the law where I live, .. and honestly places of business too, though breastfeeding is a different story. If it's appropriate, it's appropriate. Edit, looked into it and it's not actually law, but most restaurants do request that you wear a shirt and shoes to enter their establishment. Either way, I think it's not unreasonable to ask people to wear shirts when eating in a public restaurant. Our bodies can be kinda gross NGL. My head says yes. Everyone free. No shame in human bodies. But TBH my heart says number. Equality is good, but I would rather men just cover up too. The other day I was on the bus and this overweight older man got on, topless, dripping with sweat, white curly hairs everywhere, yuck. Don't really want to see that, or sit next to it. Especially if I was eating or something. Edit, okay, I wondered if I should clarify the eating comment when I was typing, but thought it wasn't a big deal and people would get the meaning. Apparently not. Should have just explained properly, as all anyone can say now is you eat on the bus. I was referring to the same event occurring in an eating place. As in, a man visiting a cafe or restaurant without wearing a shirt. I then thought, I guess people eat on the bus occasionally, so the point still stands, but overall the point is that anywhere somewhere is eating, they may be even less likely to want to see people in various states of undress. Personally I have eaten on the bus occasionally, if I have no time for lunch, though I only eat non-smelly, non-crumbly foods, but I don't make a habit of it, and it wasn't my main point. Yay, I'm with you. Yes, and number. If men can do it, women should be able to as well. But at the same time it's just gross and unnecessary when you see a man walking around shirtless in a non-beach setting. I don't care how good you look, there are shirts you can wear that cover you up and allow you not to overheat. Edit, clearly need to make my context clearer. Shirts off for both genders when outside. If you are indoors, put a shirt on. Why is it always the gross men are the ones that feel the need to be shirtless? And why does everyone assume the same wouldn't be true for women as well? Like it's always going to be the hot women walking around shirtless. Get real. You know it's going to be the female equivalent to the man this person saw on the bus. I suspect an interesting side effect would be that we'd get desensitized to boobs. And they'd be less sexualized. I don't know if this is bollocks and I'm super tired, so not gonna Google, but I read here that some African tribes where topless women is normal, they desexualized boobs and hypersexualized butts. In most states, they are. And yet if we had another Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction situation, it would be treated as a huge deal. What is technically legal and how society reacts are on two very different pages still. Puritanical TV regulations in the US are a whole different ballgame. Oh yeah, during one of the recent Winter Olympics, the woman in the French couples figure skating competition had a mild wardrobe malfunction where one of her nipples was revealed. It was shown live, then when the rerun aired they had censored it. I thought it was hilarious because you know the French would have no issue with it. I live in Ontario and I have no issue with it. We can watch blood and gore and rape on day television, but God forbid a nipple shows. Yeah, why not? But as a woman, I wouldn't do it because our culture can't handle it and the perving would be intense and uncomfortable from some people. In principle there's no problem with it though. And cameras everywhere. People will film you without your consent. Edit, yes, it's legal to film someone but many do not want to end up in a spank bank, that's my point. This right here. The view of topless women is much different than men and people will definitely react with variation. It's not just a matter of, go topless like men, no problem.